Hunter x Hunter has a lot of interesting and really cool possible matchups, but Hisoka vs Kurapika is what we're going over today's video. They are two of my favorite Hunter x Hunter characters, with Kurapika being my favorite, but Hisoka being my third. They are both very well aware of each other and have storyline going on and are associated with each other. They first met at the beginning of the series in the Hunter exam arc, and they were even matched up with each other to fight, but the fight didn't last very long, and Hisoka ended up telling Kurapika that he was a spider, and through the match giving Kurapika a free win, also shocking Kurapika. The match was pretty even until it ended with not much happening, but at this point of the series it's pretty obvious that Hisoka was the stronger of the two and would have probably won. Even during the Hunter exam, Kurapika gave up one of his badges to Hisoka. Obviously this could be because he didn't want to fight Hisoka just to avoid, chances of fighting or just keep things nice and peaceful, but he probably wanted to avoid the fight because he thought Hisoka was too much for him. I mean, him and all the other main characters during this time all kept mentioning just how powerful Hisoka seemed and how he seemed like he was such a big threat to them, like he was too much for them, and it seemed like he was too much for them. I mean, during this time he had way more experience, the main characters weren't very powerful, and he was very powerful. So during the Hunter exam, without a doubt, I'm saying Hisoka would have won. Of course, during the next few arcs, Kurapika is just becoming stronger and improving, and he ends up just mastering Nen by the York New arc, which is incredibly fast, and he manages to beat Uvegin, which for just learning Nen and only to have been improving for a few months, it's amazing just how fast he improved and how fast he became powerful enough to beat that troop member, Uvegin. I mean, he is the physically strongest troop member, and he is one of the best and most powerful troop members, so for Kurapika to beat him, it's definitely a big deal and shows that Kurapika is very powerful. But I would also argue that Hisoka would also beat Uvegin. Uvegin is not very fast, but the biggest thing he has is how physically strong he is, and he was an enhancer, while Hisoka, he's overall more powerful with better abilities. Some of Hisoka's best things that he has and some of his strengths over Kurapika would be, I would say Hisoka has the physical strength advantage. Hisoka also has his bungee gum, which he can use to do many things, like attach it to himself to make himself faster, or attach it to his opponents and targets and use it to control them. Of course, when the target is stronger than him, he has a hard time controlling them with it, but when he does have the physical strength advantage, it could be a very good tool for him to use to get an advantage. Of course, like I mentioned before, Hisoka has a lot more experience than Kurapika. Hisoka's beat opponents like Castro. A thing that makes this fight kind of hard to really know for sure some of these different aspects and who gets what in this fight is because when Kurapika is in his Emperor time, his physical abilities and just overall he becomes way more powerful. His strength increases, his speed increases, he just gets all these other abilities that just are so much stronger, and he's just so much more powerful, and he's able to heal himself way better when he's in his Emperor time. And in this fight, of course, he's gonna be using his Emperor time against Hisoka. I mean, what's the chances of him not? Unless he thinks he can beat Hisoka without it. but he's probably going to be using it in this fight, so we're going to go ahead and guess that he's going to be using it. He has it available to him. I personally believe that he is smarter than Hisoka. Hisoka is very intelligent, but I would give the edge to Kurapika. He has been shown to be very, very smart. He has been shown to be able to come up with plans very fast. He's very good at strategizing, noticing details, and analyzing scenarios and situations, making the right decision that will benefit him. Kurapika won't be able to use his chain jail because Hisoka is not a real Phantom Troop member, but still, he's going to be able to use all his other chains, which is going to be great in helping him fight Hisoka. Hisoka was beat by Chrollo, but Chrollo got like 1 year of prep time, and still, Hisoka just seems like he would have won without the prep time. Hisoka was just pulling off some amazing stunts still in that fight. So I would say for sure that he would have beat Chrollo without prep time. And we've seen Chrollo go up against Silva and Zeno, which is very impressive. Of course, Silva and Zeno were being cautious and probably not trying their hardest, but neither was Chrollo. He wasn't trying his hardest either. He was just trying to steal their abilities. And currently, Hisoka has become even more powerful and stronger than he was before. He also seems to have stronger aura and a higher aura output, which matters. Of course, it's not the only thing that matters. Like, it doesn't mean for sure he's going to win the fight, but I think that Hisoka also edges out Illumi, which he gave a 95, with Hisoka being the 100, of course. So he thinks that he's slightly more powerful than Illumi, and this was before he became even more powerful. Recently, Kurapika versus Illumi is another very close fight that I can't say for sure right now Kurapika wins. But Kurapika, with how smart he is, of course, could with prep time potentially come up with a plan to take out and beat Hisoka. But we're talking about a fight with no prep time, because with prep time, it changes everything. And we're just talking about a random encounter, and they're gonna fight till there's a winner. I think that Kurapika with his chains is gonna definitely have a good chance going up against Hisoka. His holy chain is a very, very great thing for him to have, since it will heal him. He also has his dowsing chain, his judgment chain, and his steel chain, which are great as well. His steel chain can even steal abilities. Kurapika has also got stronger since the York New arc. We haven't seen Kurapika fight that many Hunter x Hunter characters though. We've seen Hisoka compared and fight a lot more characters than Kurapika, and we know how he scales to more of them, and he seems to be suggested to probably still scale higher. Of course, it's possible Kurapika could be more powerful and win in a fight, but as of now, without him being able to use Chain Jail on Hisoka since he's not a Phantom Troop member, this will make it a lot of a harder fight for Kurapika. Kurapika needs to get more fights under his belt. He needs more battle experience, more years of training. He does have more potential. I believe potential to beat Hisoka and be more powerful and better than him. I also don't see Kurapika beating Chrollo unless he uses Chain Jail, which of course he can, but without Chain Jail, I see most of the time Chrollo winning, while I see most of the time Hisoka beating Chrollo. And I'm talking about for both of them with nobody having prep time. So I would think that Hisoka would probably also beat Kurapika, at least most of the time, unless Kurapika has become more powerful since the York New arc than I think. I see Hisoka up there with, scaling near Hunter x Hunter characters like Silva, Zeno, Chrollo, while I see Kurapika probably scaling a little below that next to people like Bisky and Kite. I think that Kurapika has a lot more potential than people may realize though. I think his potential is much closer to Killua's and Gon's than people might realize. I think his Emperor time and his intelligence is going to help him a lot in this fight against Hisoka, and it's going to make it a very close fight, and it's going to be a very competitive and hard fight for both of them. I just don't think Kurapika is at Hisoka's level yet, at least not now. Maybe if Hisoka was a Phantom Troop member, Kurapika would have a better chance of winning, but I give this fight to Hisoka winning by high difficulty or extremely high difficulty, having to try, and it not being an easy fight for Hisoka at all, but he does manage to win. Kurapika can still possibly win, especially in the future if he improves and becomes more powerful. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think that Hisoka beats Kurapika? Or do you think Kurapika would beat Hisoka? Do you think that in the future Kurapika will be more powerful than Hisoka and has a better chance of beating him? Remember to subscribe and to turn on notifications. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know some video ideas and what you want my next video to be about, or just future videos to be about. What would you want to see? I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!